Hello and welcome to your favorite program, Football Domain on seetv. I am Emmanuel Ayomide Bafog. I have things to talk to you about this morning concerning the Premier League match that went down yesterday between Chelsea and Newcastle, as well as on the international scene, the Flying Eagles and the Falconets are making us proud at the African Games. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, the show continues after this break. Hello and welcome back to Football Domain. It's you Football Domain on your #1 online television channel, seetv. I have a guest with me here in which we'll be talking about the football that went down yesterday in the Premier League and the African Games as well. Jide, how are you? What's up?
It's nice being on the show with you once again.
Okay, good morning. Yesterday we had a host of football played out. We have the Premier League that was played out yesterday. We had the African Games as well that was played out yesterday. Let's talk Chelsea, okay? Let's talk Chelsea. Yesterday they won 3-2 courtesy of a winner from Mikhailo Modric. You know, this season they haven't been up and doing in terms of their recruitment, their style of play. It's quite remarkable that they have one of the best statistics when it comes to XGs, expected goals, and high pressing, but they are still 11th. What do you have to say about yesterday's game?
Okay, good afternoon again, Bafog. Good morning again, Bafog.
Morning.
I think concerning Chelsea, I think we all know they spent a whole lot to gather these players together. But looking at it, they've really not been convincing. They've not done anything so far that will make us say, oh, this team is a beautiful team. But I think one thing that is missing, well, you made mention of their progression to goals, like the supposed goals they are supposed to get and all.
Yeah.
But I feel like the chemistry is still not there. The understanding, the togetherness, the teamwork is still not there. Because when you compare this present Chelsea team to the team that they had before now, the team that won the Champions League of recent,
yeah.
I think you notice that the one that won with Tuchel, the one that won the UEFA Champions League with Tuchel, it's not like they were fantastic, but at the same time they were able to play like as a team. But when you compare that side with this current Chelsea side, you just notice that they are just on the pitch of play. It's more like they already know that they don't have anything to play for. But nonetheless, they should still play as a team. And I think Pochettino really needs to work on that. Yesterday, I think they played well, but you will still not take it away from Newcastle that Newcastle gave them a tough time.
Yeah.
I think whenever Chelsea is more like playing a big side like Liverpool, side like Arsenal, because seeing what Arsenal are doing, I can see they are a big side this season. A team like Manchester City, you see the way Chelsea play, like they want to win something, like they are playing in the final. They want something to win. I don't know why they don't keep on with this performance in all their games.
Yeah.
So, if I'm a Chelsea player presently, I don't think I'll be giving my 100%. Looking at the fact that there's nothing to play for, I will just be like trying to like see what is going to come up next season. But at the same time, even if I'm going to see what will come up next season, I still think that Pochettino needs to sit down and know the players that he should be leaving in that team and the players he should be sending off.
Yeah, you made mention of something earlier on in your assessments that if you're a Chelsea player, there is nothing to actually play for. To me, I think there's something to play for. They are playing for their future at the club, because according to reports that were brought out yesterday, they said Chelsea are ready to admit that they made a terrible mistake concerning the recruitment plans, and they are trying to sell 15 players. I think this season is the best time for them to show the manager and the owners that they have what it takes to play for Chelsea Football Club. That they didn't come to this club to waste their time. To be very honest, yes, they don't have anything to play for. They only have the FA Cup, which some Chelsea fans are even saying that if they are not going to win the FA Cup, they should not bother qualifying for it. But then, you have to say, apart from the FA Cup, they have the Premier League. There is still like 10 games to go. These players should be playing for their future at Chelsea Football Club. What do you have to say about the recruitment plan that Chelsea did over the last 2 years?
I think the recruitment plan, to be very, very honest, is not something that we know Chelsea for. I understand that. I understand that Chelsea have the money as at when they got these players together. But when you look at these players, it's more like they are not giving us. For instance, look at Nicolas Jackson. Nicolas Jackson is a player when he was in the Spanish La Liga. He's a player that I always look forward to seeing whenever he's playing.
Yeah.
And when they bought him, and in the preseason games, he was performing. He was doing wonders. You understand? But the minute the league started, he started missing chances. He became so loose with goals and all. But to be very honest, you made mention of the fact that they have something to play for because they want to keep their stay in the club.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's one of the way to keep their stay in the club. Because for me, to be honest, I think now, when as a player, when you hear that, okay, we want to sell 15 players or we want to let go of 15 players, then you now start to compose yourself. You now start to want to prove what you are, why they brought you and all. I think for me, I feel it's actually too late. I think it's actually too late. I feel like before now, if the manager himself, that's Pochettino himself, that's if he himself is not going to be among the players that will be going, because he himself, I feel like he's playing in that team. He doesn't really have the potentials to lead this Chelsea team.
Yeah.
This Chelsea team is a team with great talent, with young lads, they have a great future. How do you bring them together? I can tell you for a fact that the bringing in of Cole Palmer from Manchester City, I feel like it solidified that Chelsea team. Because if you look at Palmer, in as much as we want to say Palmer has not been the Palmer we see in Manchester City, but we can say for a fact that Palmer has brought togetherness in that Chelsea team. The likes of you see these Chelsea players, they play like, you see Sterling, for instance. Sterling, I feel like that's even one of the reasons why Pep had to let him go. Sterling is one player that, yes, there are times you make wonders, you single-handedly do wonders, but there are times whereby when you see, for instance, yesterday, I'm sure if you saw the game yesterday, you could see some chances that Sterling was supposed to, if not pass the ball, he should score those goals. But he was I think Sterling on my list, Sterling should be the first player that should be leaving that Chelsea team. On my list, Sterling should be the first player that should be leaving that Chelsea team. And if there's any player that will be staying, I think Cole Palmer is number one. Cole Palmer is one player that I feel like he would definitely bring a whole lot to that team.
Yeah.
Gallagher himself. So for me, I think it's going to take a lot, because now if they come together and say, okay, I want to start showing my potentials because I don't want them to let go of me. I want to remain in Chelsea. For me, I think it's not the way it should be, and I feel like it's too late.
Yeah. You mentioned talent. Okay, you mentioned Cole Palmer. There's one thing about Pep Guardiola that fans always say, that if there's no use for a player anymore, he sends them off
Yeah.
to his rivals and all to share, and he shares palliatives for his rivals. But then you have to wonder. This is not the first time he's selling players to his rivals. He has sold Zinchenko before. He has sold Gabriel Jesus before. He has sold Sterling. He sold Sterling. But all these players that he sold are considered, let me borrow this word, used up or washed up, because he no longer needs them. But let's talk about Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer is just starting his career, and earlier on in the season, according to reports, he said that he wanted to stay, but he doesn't want to go on loan, and Guardiola can't guarantee that he will be starting that much, and he just had to find his way out of the club to play regular football. Now fast forward to March. That is looking like a brilliant decision for Cole Palmer. Practically, he has won almost everything in club football. He has won the Champions League, he has won the Premier League, he has won the UEFA Super Cup, the Club World Cup as well. But then, coming to Chelsea, many people felt he came to retrogress his career. But it's turning out perfectly for him. This is like, he has over 20 goals and assist contributions in his Chelsea career as at this point in time. What is the secret to Cole Palmer's success in a Chelsea shirt, despite the fact that they are 11th on the table?
I think one thing that we should point out also is the fact that this guy, just like you made mention earlier, that he has tasted success. He knows what success like. He knows what success is like. And even the fact that you have one Premier League, you have one Champions League, you have the Super Cup. The feeling that you want to always have it, because I feel like success is, for those people that like success, they always want it every time. They don't get tired of success. So for me, I feel Cole Palmer is one player that he always wants success. He is not tired of success, and that alone is a drive force to always want to be his best. I feel like if it were other players like Cole Palmer, they could just like, I've won the Champions League, I've won the Premier League, I've won everything that needs to be won in football. There's no need for me to stress myself over match days. If the coach like, he should play me. If the coach does not like, he should leave me on the bench. You understand? But this guy, when he first came to Chelsea, he doesn't start game regularly. But 10 games, let me not say 10, but about 6-7 games in a row now, he has started all games. He is always on the starting lineup. Why? Because he has something to give. Pochettino has seen what this guy does. If he's not scoring goals, he's creating chances. If he's not creating chances, definitely you see him always scoring goals. Compared to the other players around him, those ones, I feel like those ones, they don't really, I don't know how I would say it, but they don't really understand the Chelsea jersey that they are putting on, the badge. They don't understand what it takes to be a player. They don't understand what it takes to be a Chelsea player. They don't just really understand. You see all the players, like, they are just on the pitch of play without understanding. They are just there. When you are playing a game, if you have the whole possession without scoring goals, then what's the use for it? Do you understand? So he has Cole Palmer has tasted success. He has learned other man. Even if it's just one manager like Pep Guardiola, he understands what it's like to always want to perform very well. You see all the players that have played under Pep that left to other clubs like Arsenal. You see Gabriel Jesus, Cole Palmer. They always, if they are being asked about why the team they are in presently is not making success, they always make mention of the fact that they've not smelled success. They don't know what success is like.
The winning mentality is not there.
Yeah, exactly. The mentality is just not there. Do you
Mm.
understand? But Kopama has brought that mentality. He didn't leave that. Okay, you made mention of it earlier. You said Kopama said he wants to stay in Manchester City.
Yeah.
Definitely, who would take success with a team like Manchester City and would want to leave? But because he wants to play regularly. Do you understand? He wants to play regularly. He wants to compete with players that are always playing regularly. He wants to be there. So for him, because of that, he decided that okay, he wants to go to Chelsea. And to some fans, they just look at him and say, "See this one. Why would he go to Chelsea?" And see it as a progression. But to me, I feel like it's him facing trials. It's him facing the world, going against all odds to want to be better. Nothing is good. Nothing is stopping that player anytime. If Pep leaves Manchester City today, it's possibility that Pep can just say he wants to get that player. Why? Because he left his comfort zone to go and compete in a place where everything looks odd.
Yeah.
So I feel Obama is a player that has tasted success and he knows what success is like, and he's always striving to want more.
He's always striving to want more. This is a player that has brought considerable amount of success to the shores of Chelsea Football Club. And could you say that the other players in the squad, I think most of them, bar Chelsea, or let me say bar James and bar Chilwell, yeah. Others have not really tasted Champions League success like that. Could his how would I put it? Could his spirit, the aura that he brings, the aura that he assumes from being part of a successful team, can it rub off the other players in Chelsea Football Club as well?
Yeah, I think it can. I think it can. It takes a whole lot of like it takes a whole lot of chemistry together. I think on the field of play, aside the field of play, I think outside the pitch, Kopama should be more like able to bring these players together to make them understand. But I don't think it's up to Kopama alone. I think it's also something that Pochettino himself should also work on. If you look at Pochettino, yes, he has been there, but he doesn't really have any trophy to show for it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Aside maybe the the title. But for me, I don't think Poch understands. I don't think Poch understands what it takes to be a leader, what it takes to be a winner. It goes beyond. Because if for a coach, I feel like every coach wants success. Every coach wants success, and if you have this kind of players, for me, I don't feel like Pochettino does not even have a style of play with these players. Yes, I understand that these players were in the team or they bought them before he came. Maybe they are not his style. They are not his kind of players. But at the same time, if you meet players, you work with them until when you have the opportunity to more like sell them off and all. But talking about the Kopama aura, I think it can affect the other players, but it will take more than just it will take more than being matured. They have to grow in time. They have to like grow in time to want to take success. And I feel like it's not about aside the fact that they are Chelsea players, they need to check themselves and look at who they really are, what kind of player they are. So I think it goes beyond the aura of Kopama.
Okay.
It will be difficult for Obama to single-handedly give them that aura, like you mentioned, to jinx it around every other players. Because when you made mention of Chilwell and Rich James, when you see Chilwell and Rich James themselves, I feel they are two players that they have not really given after the Champions League, they've really not given their all. They've been just for Rich James as an example. If Rich James is not injured, he's definitely going to be making tackles that would grant him red cards and all. So I think it goes beyond that. And for me, I feel like Gallagher has been doing a fantastic job being the captain and trying to like bring everybody together. But in as much as that, I feel like Poch needs to find a solution. A solution in terms like his style of play. And that will go a very, very long way for the Chelsea fans and the players.
Yeah. Congratulations to Chelsea for their win yesterday night over Newcastle United, and they have a long way to go if they are to qualify for Europe, even if in the Conference League as well. They have a long way to go to try and qualify for that. But Jide, before we move on to the next story, can you please centralize your face on the camera so we could see you very well? Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, so we'll go to the next story, which is the international scene. All right, currently the African Games are going on, and the Flying Eagles are representing Nigeria at the football tournament in the African Games. Yesterday they played out with 1-0 victory, courtesy of a Sadiq Isiaka penalty, and that takes them above Senegal. What do you have to say about the Flying Eagles? Because they lost their opening game 2-1 to Uganda. They weren't convincing in that game, but they scraped through this game as well through a penalty. Do you see them going on to the next stage and possibly qualifying for back-to-back finals?
If I'm to compare these present Flying Eagles with the Flying Eagles that qualified for the last final, I think these are two different teams.
Yeah.
These two Flying Eagles, this present Flying Eagles, I don't know. They seem to not have a chemistry. Just like you made mention, the first game they played, they lost to Uganda. We shouldn't be losing to teams like Uganda. Like there are some teams that when we lose to them, we can just say, okay, this team they've really done much. But no disrespect to Uganda, but I feel like we could have done better than we did in the last game. But talking about this the yesterday's game, I feel like they really didn't play well. They were not convincing. They look so disorganized, no chemistry. They were just playing like it was more like just like we used to make mention of the normal Nigerian slang, anywhere belle face. Like there was no chemistry, there was no understanding. Yeah, there was no understanding. Yeah, we got the penalty, fine, but how many penalties would you get to get to the final? It doesn't work that way. And I feel like every other team also didn't come there to play. And I feel like every other team know we are a threat. So they always do their homework. But when they are doing their homework, we should always also try to like upgrade on ourselves, upgrade and improve on ourselves. But looking at the Flying Eagles, they've really not performed to par. They've really not convinced me the way and say, okay, these people they are ready for and they would get to the final.
Okay. Same time yesterday, the female national team, the Falconets, they kicked off their second game in the group as well. And apart from the this current stuff is a perfect example of when they say what a man can do, a woman can do better. Okay, that's like a perfect example of what a man can do, a woman can do better. Hello. Well, yesterday's match concerning the Falconets, it had an iota of fun. It had cohesiveness. It had so many things to put into that game. They won that game courtesy of a 4-0 victory. A 4-0 victory at that. And you have to say Lovett, Ede, Moturayo, Ezekiel, and Ongo and Chioma Olise scored the goals for the Falconets as they move on to their 13th semi-final at the 13th African Games. And you have to say this is a dominant display by the Falcons, to be very honest with you, because they have what it takes to defend the title You could say that the manager Christopher Danjuma has been doing fantastic job, but there's still more to be done. This is where it gets tricky. The semi-final stage is where it gets tricky for every team, and the Super Falcons, moving on to the next stage of the semi-finals, they have to wait for the proceeds of Group A to find out who they will be playing in the next round. I would like to go on the break now. Stay tuned. I'll be right back after this break. Welcome back. It's your football domain on your number one online television channel, seetv. Like I was saying earlier concerning the African Games and the Falconets, they moved on to the semi-final stage, courtesy of a 4-0 win. And the Falconets, to be very honest with you, they are a team that you wouldn't want to play against at this point in time. But like every other team, like every other tournament, like every other continent, there are no minions in football anymore. Everyone that qualified for this tournament stands a chance to prove themselves in front of a whole sellout crowd of their fans as well. And yesterday, just a quick side note, the medal table has been shaping up a lot. We have Egypt with 66 total medals. They have 39 golds, they have 14 silver and 16 bronze. We have Algeria in second place. They have 8 golds, 15 silver, 16 bronze medals, which totals of 39. We have South Africa, who is third. They have 8 golds, 7 silver medals, and 13 bronze medals, with a total of 28. And then we have Nigeria, who have 7 golds, 7 silver, and 12 bronze to make up 26 medals in total. That's everything concerning the African Games. That's everything concerning the African Games. You could do well to tune in every time for more updates concerning the African Games. I don't think, well, we could say that everything concerning, let's say, in total of the African Games, it didn't really is not really shaping up like that. But well, we could get a favorable draw in the semi-final concerning the Super Falcons, or the Falconets at that. Hello, Jide. Nice to have you back. Nice to have you back. Hello, I can't hear you. Can you hear me now? But I can't still hear you. I can't hear you, but I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Okay, we'll get Jide back as soon as possible. Moving on to the Champions League. The Champions League is back, and some teams are ready to kickstart their games. And you know, Arsenal versus Porto, Barcelona versus Napoli, each and every single one of them are looking to qualify to the next stage. And you have to wonder, Arsenal, who have not qualified for the quarter-final stage in a long while, are in the running. Likewise Porto, likewise Barcelona, and even Napoli as that. The owner of Napoli, Aurelio De Laurentiis, has promised the players 150,000 euros each if they beat Barcelona to qualify for the quarterfinals. Because if they do, then Napoli will qualify for the FIFA Club World Cup, which is scheduled to hold next year in the United States. Well, that's everything we have on the show, and I really hope you guys enjoyed yourself concerning the African Games, the Premier League, and the analysis from Olajide Michael. Till next time that I come your way, keep watching Football Domain on seetv for more updates concerning the Premier League, La Liga, Champions League, and of course, currently the ongoing African Games. I am Emmanuel Ayomide Bafog. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.